It didn't matter what obstacles she had to remove to get what she wanted. If it was a person, it didn't matter who. All I want is money, power, and I think I'm money, power. All I want is money, power, and I think I'm
They got the bitch.
All right, all right, all right. Welcome to my difficult research. If I can, hello. I'm trying to go on the screen. Where am I at? Start cam. Oh, hey, look at my hair. It's crazy. How's it going? It's been so long. It's been like less than 24 hours, right? You'd think I'd have my shit together by now. It's not going to happen in this lifetime. Not in this probation or any other damn probation. Oh my God, the squeaky fan. Problems. First world problems, right? How are y'all doing? KJ, thank you so freaking much. I went to, upload some graphics or whatever, and I was like, whoa, there's two big red things, $100 each. And I'm like, oh, we ain't even started yet. Oh God, thank you. You don't have to do that, but thank you. I do appreciate it when you do. I know what it's like, when you want to give, and my mom all taught me all about that. You didn't dare turn her away when she went to, hand you money, and you're just like, no, I did that because I love you. And she's like, take it and I'll fight you. So it's just the way I was raised. But thank you. And anyways, so how's everybody doing on this Saturday? We're just some big old party animals, aren't we now? I'm feeling my age. Damn you, 45. My dirty 30s were so fun. I don't remember a lot of them, but they sure were fun. Let's see. I can get the damn power to work with me. I'm tired of the lights flickering, right? Oh, you thought you heard they were. Oh my gosh, I need to get like just a chair. Like the one they had in the hotel room in Boise. I was like, this is good. This will work. So, yeah, KJ, you do rock. You rock, sister. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Maybe if I turn that off, then maybe my lights will stop flickering. Right? It's called delayed hurricane damage from 2020. Speaking of hurricanes, what the hell is going on over there on the west side of the world? In the Pacific, hurricanes, freaking Hillary. That's one of Chad's names for Tylee was Hillary. I still don't know where he got them damn names. Viola and Hillary and Rhonda. And do a whole roll call. Jeez. Elroy. Remember Elroy? That was stupid. Pretty freaking stupid. James and Elena. Hello. Raphael. They're stupid. Do you ever just sit and you're just like, they're so freaking stupid. Yeah. We've lost brain cells. I have lost brain cells. So yeah, yeah, we'll share. It's a custody battle between the hurricanes, and it's y'all's month. That's horrible. It sucks with these fires in Maui, and I hope Weird Mom's okay. Weird Mom, if you're able to watch, we love you, and we hope you're okay. And it's just terrible, Uh, it's like I don't even get to look up and just soak in what's going on in the world around me. I'm just so, and have been for quite some time. Yeah, right, Natalie. They can have them. It's a custody battle, and it's their weekend, and it's always the girl names. Like we've had Audrey, Rita, uh, Laura, Katrina. Them bitches are like, they go and meet afterwards and they go have margaritas and laugh at us and shit. That's the conclusion that I've come to. So I would, if I were a hurricane and I mess things up a great deal, I would go party. Anyways, you have Hurricane Betty in Europe. Oh my gosh. Bitches be crazy. Bitch hurricanes. Sorry, I'm gonna try and lay off on the cussing. I went a little crazy last night. But it felt good. It was like at the very end of I say the very end, the latter half of the 4-hour live stream. It was just more like just casual convo, and it's like I'm gonna go and trim the part out where I explain my theory. It kind of came out pretty good last night. It don't sound good. It sounds freaking horrible and it sounds crazy, but I got it out, and that's all that matters here. So, Canadian fire. Oh yeah, I did read that headline. So he's going to buy me a box color. Going back to the box colors. Yeah, I'm not I don't know. I remember like look at that Bruce, during the pandemic or whatever, and I don't know. Looked at a video on YouTube, and you could do like you put all your hair, you brushed it all right here, and you did like a unicorn, and then my hair was long, and then you would put a band like right here, and then you'd cut right here, and I did, and it was perfect. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna do this forever. I'm gonna cut my own damn hair from here on out. And then, yeah, and some Boudreaux and Thibodeaux, right? Boudreaux and Thibodeaux were in a Piro, getting some boudin, and no. I asked Brandon when I saw him, I'm like, you sure you're not from here? Are you sure? You got some cat-like reflexes. You hurried up and hauled ass whenever you got shot at. You just seem to have some Cajun, some coon ass in you. He's like, no. Why he's tagging down his and his energy drink. I'm like, I was trying to figure things out, Yeah. Just join. Lock them up. Lock them hookers up now. It's by what is it? Common whatever. Consensus. Mask. I'm just making shit up right now. Oh, hello, checking in from Connecticut, sending love and prayers to your family. Thank you. And back at you, babe. Crafty Chris. My kind of people. Crafty people. I miss crafting. Like I've been like teeter-tottering, kind of looking at my little projects but I'm like, well, but I got to get this done. And then I'm getting there. At least I'm thinking about it now. I used to there was a time not even playing. This is weird. Well, kind of. But whenever the kids were found, and I mean, I used to make things all the time. It's what I did. It's, I was starting a little business. It was called Rustic Innovations, and I really enjoyed it. I had a little clientele. I advertised, on Facebook and anyways, and Jason would help me I started making these New Orleans Saint flags, which is right over there, but I have to walk over there and get it. And I have LSU, and I've made Bama, and I don't give a shit. Even though LSU and Bama are not friends, I'll do it. But so, I mean, I I had my little thing going, something I enjoyed doing. It was physical. I liked sweating. I just liked being physical. Let's get physical. Yeah, anyways. I'm silly. But then Lori happened. Lori and Chad. They made a great deal. They made a great mess. They really effed stuff up from that point on. From the time my uncle was murdered, I mean, that jolted me, right? And so I don't remember quite when, because that year is a blur, but there, I have like all these wood pieces around. Like I'll have cabinet doors, just off the side of the road. I'm like, oh, cool. You can make so many different things with that. Chalkboards and all kinds of things. And because I really like to repurpose, and nothing fancy, but there was a time whenever I looked around, and I was like, oh my God, I was painting like canvases, basically. So like some of the cabinet boards I had or whatever, they were all white. Everything was like a blank slate. And I was like, oh my God. And I used to be I'd paint and just, I don't know, I'd make it happen, just whatever, nothing really in mind, maybe a little bit in mind, but then let the chips fall where they may. And they did. And I really enjoyed that. But then when you look up and you're like, oh my God, I haven't been inspired to put color, it's white, but it's ready. the other side of that is that it's ready to be painted, it's ready for the artist, it's ready for color. So I'm always full of surprises. Welcome. I mean, you got to be from Louisiana. You got to be from Lake Charles. It was Todd Houdet Clement. Come on. I went to school with a Jackie Clement. She was my good friend. That's how you like to paint too, Lily? Lily? And Natalie. Yeah, Natalie, the Hubers. They are from the Chuck. This is Lake Charles, Lake Chuck. Thank you, Beach Bum. I'm going to go cut your grass. I'm going to cut your grass. That woman is always cutting some damn grass. Oh my goodness. Hey, Humanimal, it's good to see you, or it's good to virtually see you here. I like how she says whilst walking the doggo. We'll tell the doggo we said hello. So y'all, this whole Jared Bridegan, all these names, it's a lot for one person to keep up with. I already have enough tabs open. But thank you, KDH, for all the damn links, girl. She is on it always. I have I want to show y'all. Look, look. Oh, you can't because I'm not hiding. But check, it's all from KDH all the time. It just KDH, KDH, KDH. Every now and then I got that's just this Crusher 0123. But anyways, so. But I appreciate it. I was like, oh God, yes. I really do appreciate that. You take your time to do that. Now I'm trying to figure out how to make that disappear. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to go click the links because I want to talk about this Jared Bridegan case and compare it through application, just like KJ does. It's you learn so many things this way, just like the Jeffrey Lundgren case. I mean, Jeffrey Lundgren was a cult leader. He was allegedly started his own cult. He was the RLDS, not the LDS, same difference, almost, kind of. Depends on who you ask. They all believe in Joseph Smith and Brigham Young. Well, no, actually the RLDS don't believe that Brigham Young took over. That's the difference. So, excuse me. Sound like I had a chat in my throat, a frog. But so, I mean, so looking at Jeffrey Lundgren's case, I know that veered off into Lundgrenville, but that was fascinating to dive into because there are so many similarities between that cult and this, whatever, all these members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. It's not a cult. Chad and Lori and them aren't a cult. But anywho, there were just so many things to learn that were similar. Some of the members were calling Jeffrey and Alice, his wife, mom and dad, just like Melani Pawlowski. What else? Oh, he made the women dance. Well, nude, allegedly. There was also something to do with a pendant, and because they sacrificed the Avery family, 5 members of the Avery family, a mother, a dad, and their 3 daughters. And all of these, I think there were like 13 cult members, and they all took part. They at least had them in mug shots and shit. I mean, come on. These people that we're dealing with, they are just, they are the luckiest mother effers ever. Because, come on. They gotta be held accountable. I'm putting my necklace back on. I'm sorry. That's my Tylee necklace. But yeah, oh yeah, that's what reminded me of it. There was a like a charm, and just things that people use for satanic rituals purposes only. I don't know, allegedly, shit. But it was like the same kind of ceremony, the same vibe. That's what I picked up. And then Jeffrey Lundgren was a death penalty case. He's executed over there in Ohio, Kirtland, Ohio. And Alice is still in prison, and so is their son, one of their sons, Damon. And it was weird. It was just weird. But there's a lot of the same terminology. Um, he was God of the whole earth, which I've read that. I've read that same of the whole earth. What did Lori say? Grab me by my storm, and we'll go to the ends of the universe, or whatever the hell. Nasty ass. Take y'all's damn nasty ass storms. Damn. What happens in Rexburg stays in Rexburg, right? No. I need to stop. But there were just a lot of things. And so that's through application, just reading the death penalty process and the appeals and everything for Jeffrey Lundgren. And with Chad going up with the death penalty and all that, it's just interesting. So Donna had started, reading, but I got to send her the rest of the book. Poor thing. The Jeffrey, I don't remember some of the prophets. I don't know. But anyways, moving on. So let me see where we're going to start. This is... Yeah, there's a lot of bad Mormons right now. And it's an oxymoron, because Mormon means more good. And so that's why you hear like more sure, your more sure word of prophecy, just more good, Mormon. Well, anyways, bad Mormon, it's totally an oxymoron. Oxymoron. Oh my God. Hey, yeah. Let's see. I'm just reading the things. Okay. Yeah, this was interesting too. Let me just open that up over there. And yeah, don't forget about missing Jarrett Brooks, the 16-year-old from Joseph City, Arizona, who is still missing. He's been missing since July 4th this year. Keep him in your prayers. All right, I'm just going to start clicking some stuff because I'm just sitting here. I can't talk and work. I'm not coordinated. Oh, thank you, Katie. What the hell? I want to open it. I'm going to open it. Open it. Okay. Do y'all ever talk to yourself? And then if you do, how often do you talk to yourself? All the time? Part of the time? Only when you're pissed? All right, let's see. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I'm excited or something. Something's going on. Okay. I'm going to share this tab. Let me go hide myself behind my screen. I live in north southwest. North southwest? That's like going to Rexburg. They got, I don't know if that's what you mean. NSW. But they have like East 1st, 3rd Street. You're like, what? I have to think about it, Okay. Hide myself. Get some whatever. Okay. This is Melani Boudreaux. PAWLOWSKI. Basically. This is future Melani PAWLOWSKI, because this is what she gonna be, okay? Let me sure. I can't make it go up any higher. I'm gonna have to. Oh dang! It's pretty loud. This is Actually, let me show you some of these first because anybody who doesn't know really, you'll be like, what? Let's see. Let's try this one.
Well, today marks 6 months since the murder of a local father of four, Jared Bridegan.
Sounds like
And
Brandon.
his murder has attracted national attention, even international attention, with investigators saying he was targeted on a Jacksonville Beach road just outside the Sanctuary neighborhood. Police believe after dropping off his twins at his ex-wife's home, he stopped to move this tire in the road, and that's when he was shot to death in front of his 2-year-old daughter, strapped in her car seat until help arrived.
Bridegan's widow and mother of his two youngest children says the grief has come in waves day after day. She spoke with our Katie Jeffries about how tough the pain is. She has tried to remain strong for her children and then also get justice for Jared.
I want to be safe, so I will protect Mama.
For Kirsten Bridegan, it's these moments
Nobody can hurt you. I love you.
that dig into her heart, already hurting from grief.
Make sure the pancakes don't hurt you.
Her daughter now worried about her mother's safety after she witnessed her father's murder 6 months ago. She was only 2.5 at the time, and Bridegan says some days she understands her father is gone, but other days she talks about looking forward to seeing him come home.
And that's excruciating because I have to go back and explain, no, honey, like Dad's not going to be there. His body got hurt. Dad died. And then it just like starts all over.
As the investigation into who killed Jared Bridegan continues, Jacksonville Beach Police Sergeant Tanya Tater says they have received hundreds of tips, many about the whereabouts of this blue Ford F-150, believed to be connected to the murder.
Every tip that comes into us has to be investigated to the fullest until we have nothing else to go on that tip. So that's time consuming within itself.
The truck so far, though, has not been located. But Sergeant Tater says don't mistake investigators' silence for inaction. Just because the department has not released more information doesn't mean it isn't coming in. She says the department isn't just after the shooter, but anyone who may have helped.
If you are scared, reach out to us. Let us know, that you're scared, but you do have information that can help with this case, and we will most certainly work with you.
I heard a quote once, I think it was, "The wheels of justice are slow, but they turn."
Yes.
Is that kind of where we are here?
Yes, yes. It's a slow process. Every day detectives are working on it.
Right now, no suspects or persons of interest have been named. In the national media, though, there has been much speculation about Bridegan's acrimonious divorce from his first wife, Shanna Gardner-FERNANDEZ. One story claimed that she asked a local tattoo artist about someone who could, quote, shut him up, end quote. In an interview with our news partners at the Florida Times-Union, she called the implications that she was involved sensationalistic and inaccurate, and she felt threatened by the scrutiny. But Kirsten Bridegan wants to make sure Jared's story isn't forgotten, creating an Instagram, Justice for Jared B., and speaking to news outlets across the nation, but always in the back of her mind, the fear.
But there is a part of me that does worry about me being so vocal and me fighting so much that they could try to hurt me or Bexley, because Bexley was there.
Daddy, I moved your flower.
I see it. That's a beautiful flower.
She says another tragedy in the midst of her husband's murder is that people now remember him for how he died and not the man and father that he was to his twins from his first marriage and his two children with her.
So he would spend countless hours just making up activities to do together. He wrote jokes in their lunch every single day when they went to school. He's just a quality guy who cared about the people in his life.
It's a sentiment echoed by Jared Bridegan's brother, Adam.
And in many regards, I looked up to him as a father and as a husband, just the way that he treated not only Kirsten, but his kids. I know I was able to watch him and learn from him as far as how he treated them. The list goes on as far as how many lives have been shattered by this tragedy. And all of us are suffering, and we live in this fear, and there is no accountability yet. There are no answers. We need those answers.
Answers that will help Kirsten Bridegan get through these tough moments.
What do you hope the next 6 months bring?
I hope it brings justice. I hope that those who were involved in his murder are caught. I hope that we can get to a trial quickly. I just hope that there's a resolution and that I can answer Bexley when she asks me why.
We did reach out to the lawyer for Shanna Gardner-FERNANDEZ for a comment on this story, and he declined. If you know anything about the murder of Jared Bridegan, please contact Crime Stoppers at the number you see here, or you can contact the Jacksonville Beach Police Department. Katie Jeffries, First Coast News, on your side.
We go by Mr. Fernandez, so that's how we'll refer to him.
Okay.
Now, this is Shanna's husband, Mario Fernandez. And so there's another co-conspirator who is, I think he rented from, or he stayed in the house of Shanna's. Her parents are like really rich and they just went on a mission. That tends to happen when there's a lot of, publicity. We didn't see the Coxes go on a mission though. That tells you something. I am too. Well, yeah, hashtag me too. Yeah, I think she goes up. Shanna goes for a preliminary hearing, I believe, on September 14th. It's a date. Be here. Because we're gonna watch it together. We gotta do stuff. It doesn't sound a lot like Brandon's. I mean, his baby girl was in the back seat right after a kid exchange. They ambushed him. They use the same words as like Charles, and Brandon. I mean, the only difference here is Brandon lived. Thank you, Jesus. Thank God. It just, oh my God. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's hitting me really hard right now. And it didn't even happen to me. But I mean, it was just so intense. Just that whole time. Like that brother Adam was just saying, you'd never know. You don't know if you're in danger or what. You have no idea. But anyways, let me go ahead and continue this little video of, so it was the co-conspirator, the third one. I'm gonna say, well, he was the first one to be arrested, not this one, but let me see. I'm doing them all out of order and stuff. Let's see here. This is a good story.
Turning our attention now to Florida, where we are expecting a major update in the murder investigation of Microsoft executive Jared Bridegan. It could be coming down at any moment. Mario Fernandez Saldana, who is the husband of Bridegan's ex-wife, is already charged with first-degree murder in the February 2022 shooting death of Bridegan. The exec was gunned down in a Jacksonville Beach neighborhood just moments after he dropped off his two children that he shared with his ex-wife. Prosecutors say he was ambushed after stopping to remove a tire in the road. The state attorney's office has stated that they're going to be announcing a significant development in that case today. And we're going to take you there live as soon as that press conference begins. While we wait, though, here's a look back at the case from Court TV crime and justice correspondent Matt Johnson.
And this is, yeah, so this is good.
Jared Bridegan appeared to have it all. A new job as a Microsoft executive, living in sunny Florida with his wife Kirsten and 4 children.
We had just had London. She was 6 months old. So things were good.
Kirsten had 2 children with Jared, London and Bexley. They also shared custody of his 9-year-old twins from a previous marriage.
On the week that we did not have the oldest 2 kids at our home, Jared would take them out to dinner. It was referred to as date night in this agreement.
The agreement kept Jared and Kirsten in Florida because Bridegan and his ex-wife Shanna Gardner-FERNANDEZ were in a bitter custody dispute. What was that relationship like, he and his ex-wife?
The relationship between us and his ex-wife was not cordial. Our communications were always in writing because there was not mutual trust between the 2 households.
On February 16, 2022, Jared had one of his scheduled daddy date nights. After dinner, he dropped off his twin daughter and son at his ex-wife's home.
All right, just going to stop right there because that way I don't get flagged. Just going to We can talk if we want to. We can talk anytime we can. Anyways. Oh my gosh. That way I don't get a copyright. All right, let's go back to the story. And here we go.
In Jacksonville Beach, Florida, and headed home to St. Augustine. On the way, he stopped to get his 2.5-year-old daughter Bexley ice cream. She was in the back seat of his SUV. He then called Kirsten, telling her he loved her and would be home soon. How did you learn something was wrong?
As time started ticking by and the time that they're usually home passed, I can't even describe it. Like, I just knew something's not right.
Her fears became reality after an officer answered Jared's cell phone, telling her Bexley was unharmed. But they needed her to come by the police station to hear about her husband.
They later on that night told me that he had been shot. Where did this happen? Because he usually gets in the car and just drives home. I had talked to him.
Jared was not a victim of any robbery gone wrong or carjacking. Police say he was the victim of a targeted attack on a one-way road he traveled often. Jared came across a tire police say was intentionally placed right here in the middle of the road in the sanctuary neighborhood of Jacksonville Beach, Florida. That's when someone came out of these woods and ambushed the father of 4, killing him on the spot. For almost a year, no answers. Then in January 2023, a break in the case.
Henry Tenen was arrested for the following crimes: conspiracy to commit murder, second-degree murder with a weapon, accessory after the fact to a capital felony, and child abuse.
Now investigators say that Tenen has pleaded guilty in the case and admitted to shooting Bridegan.
Henry Tenen pled guilty to murdering Jared Bridegan. Henry Tenen has admitted that he in fact was the shooter.
According to court records, Tenen once lived in this house that was once owned by Bridegan's ex-wife's current husband.
Our investigation has revealed a single link between Jared Bridegan and Henry Tenen. That is Mario Fernandez Saldana.
And now investigators have charged that husband, Mario Fernandez Saldana, with first-degree murder.
And the grand jury has returned an indictment charging Fernandez Saldana with first-degree murder. In addition to the first-degree murder charge, the grand jury also has indicted Fernandez Saldana for conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, solicitation to commit a capital felony, as well as child abuse. First-degree murder, this is a capital felony punishable by death or mandatory life in prison.
Jared's ex-wife and her new husband, Mario Fernandez, have denied any involvement in his murder. Gardner-Fernandez has since relocated to Washington State with the twins she shared with Jared.
Joining me now to discuss this case, Court TV crime.
Yeah. Oh, and I just found out that the guy in the pink glasses, he follows me on Twitter, on X, whatever the hell that is. I don't go there enough. Like I'd learned today, I was like, oh, you can follow all these people back? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Yeah, I called Alex Shitshot McGee. I still call Alex Shitshot McGee because thank God he was a horrible damn shot. But you know what? You know what's crazy about it all? It's just ripe or, just peachy. Is that like whenever Uncle Charles whenever Lori found out that she was not getting the $1 million life insurance policy from my uncle's murder, she her and Chad communicated, right? And then, he's like, well, do you think it's Kay? Do you think it's Brandon? And, they're trying to figure it out because they're so smart, so damn smart. Anyways, and then, in that text communication, they're like, it was Kay, and we're going to work hard on Rhonda. They named my mom Rhonda. Rhonda was a demon now, right? So my mom, I guess it makes, I don't even want to talk about it. Just sometimes it's like everything's just, it's kind of happening right now. I'm maybe over stimulated, over all the feels, So it's just a lot to take in, you know, because it's like, you know, these people are terrorists. They're freaking terrorists. And the domestic terrorist. And then it's a ripple effect from that point on. Yes. Shit shot McGee. Straight up. I mean, out of the 3 people he shot at, as far as we know, in this small group of people, of the potential murder pool there is out there. You know, Alex took 3 shots. He took a shot at Charles, or, you know, he tried to kill Charles and he did. So he got 1. He took a shot at Tammy, missed, backfired, misfired. Ended up not shooting her with a gun. And then shot at Brandon, missed. So he sucks. He sucks. Yeah, I think so. I think so too, right here. Very triggered. Yeah. So I'm just, yeah. Anyways, I don't want to talk about it because then I'm going to have like a panic attack. Don't want to have one because then I'll have to end the live stream. And then that sucks. So let's just do some grounding. I remember, it's in my room though. Badger. Username Badger left, you know, in a comment, and they said to imagine breathing this in. Anyways, it's in my room. I wrote it down, but it was very helpful. I'm so sorry. I can't really look up right now. Okay, this is weird. I mean, usually doesn't happen while I'm, you know, it's happened anyways. Let me sit back. Y'all are cool. Everybody's fine, right? It's too quiet in here though. I have to just like push buttons and I have to fidget. Let's go look at some stuff. We'll come back to this. No, let me finish playing this. How about that? Okay, there's a deep breath. Good. Fun times.
Crime and Justice correspondent Matt Johnson, also in St. Paul, Minnesota, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Jack Rice, and in Atlanta, criminal defense attorney Josh Schiffer. So good to have you all on as we are waiting to see what this prosecution is going to say. Matt, let me start with you. Every time that we've heard a press conference being announced with the same term, development in the case, it's been something major and it's been an arrest. What do you think it may be today?
Well, I think that we're going to hear more details about Henry Tenon and what information he has been providing. Because again, Julia, he has pled not guilty in this case, and he said that he will willfully and honestly testify against any co-conspirators. And the way that they left the last press conference in their announcement of the arrest of Saldana-Fernandez, you know, they said that there could be another arrest pending and soon. So maybe we will see that today.
Jack Rice, if there's another arrest, what kind of information or evidence do you think they would have been able to uncover once the husband of the ex-wife was behind bars?
Incredibly important when you can realize that personal specific information that shows that this was a hit. Because what you're really looking for is contemplate where it is that this man was actually murdered and who would have known about it, who specifically would have known where he was going, when he was going there, and the ability to reach. This really supports a very slow, methodical approach from the police as they arrest and then they say, who are your connections?
I'm going to go grab that paper Okay, so I'm just letting y'all know. I'm gonna go grab that paper so I can read it and do it while I play this. So just letting you know. Thank y'all so much. Y'all are the best. I swear. Jason's not here either, so I'm like, okay, I'm mapping it out. Okay, back over there.
How are those people connected to the potential murdered victim? And then you work your way out like throwing a small rock into a pond and watch that just roll outwards. And that's exactly what they did in this case.
In the rolling outwards of this case, John Schiffer, what other charges would you anticipate could be coming down the pipe? I know we already have first-degree murder. Second-degree murder is what the alleged hitman is going to plead guilty to. But talk to me about what other crimes or charges could be coming down.
Well, like Matt and Jack are talking about, as this case expands, we may be adding additional people as well as additional evidence that's been developed. That additional evidence can support new charges. Everything from using the tools of interstate commerce like telephones in a conspiracy. There's literally dozens of potential charges that the state's going to be able to decide on using their inherent discretion through the electoral and prosecutorial process. This has been that slow developing case specifically because they didn't have great answers on the outset of who might be involved, only by leaning on the people that they do know involved, using the powers of subpoenas, search warrants, things like that to develop additional evidence. That's how they've gotten to this part of discovering the story.
Josh,
and I think
Melissa
they're going to drop
Nelson.
big
Josh, I hate
news.
to cut you off. Melissa Nelson, the state attorney there in Jacksonville, Florida, is about to speak. Let's go in live.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us in what will be my last public update on the investigation of the murder of Jared Bradigan on February 16th of 2022 in Jacksonville Beach. I'm joined today by our law enforcement partners, Chief Gene Paul Smith of the Jacksonville Beach Police Department and many of the staff, Special Agent Bob Bryson of ATF Jacksonville, and Jacksonville Beach Mayor Hoffman. We are also joined by Jared's widow, Kirsten, Kirsten's parents, and Jared's brothers, Adam and Justin, and Adam's wife. Thank you for being here today. We promised at the outset of this investigation we would not relent until we uncovered the truth of Jared's murder. The whole and entire truth. This morning, a Fourth Circuit grand jury indicted Shanna Gardner for first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, solicitation to commit first-degree murder, and child abuse, all related to the murder of Jared Bradigan, Shanna's ex-husband. Gardner was arrested shortly after and taken into custody by ATF Washington Field Division agents in West Richland, Washington. Gardner will be extradited to Duval County to face these charges. We will be filing a notice of our intent to seek the death penalty, as we have also done in the case of Mario Fernandez. I cannot stress enough the extraordinary commitment and teamwork of the folks on the stage with me today, the Jacksonville Beach detectives, ATF agents, and our prosecutors in this case. While too many to name, I would like to personally commend some folks. Chief Smith, Jacksonville Beach detectives Chris Johns and Jason Lamont, ATF Special Agent Bryson and his team of special agents and intelligence analysts at ATF Jacksonville office, including Lindsay Butler, Alyssa Simmons, and Nick Stengel. And our prosecution team, led by Assistant State Attorney Christina Stifler, including Lee Wingard, Homicide Director Alan Mizrahi, Chief Assistant Lee Hutton, and First Assistant Stephen Siegel, and our victim advocate, Mackenzie Roden. This investigation has uncovered the truth of Jared's murder. Henry Tennant did not act alone, Mario Fernandez did not plan alone, and Shanna Gardner's indictment acknowledges her central and key role in the cold, calculated, and premeditated murder of Jared Bradigan. We will provide copies of the indictment, and all other evidentiary details and information will be provided during the discovery process. Thank you all for being here today and providing the public of this development.
There you have it from the state attorney there in the 4th district.
I had to go stand outside for a little bit. I hate when it catches up to you, you know? And then it's like, ooh, I already have anxiety, panic disorder. So it really does just get overwhelming. It's like your brain's like, what? I am too. I'm so glad she got arrested too. Gave me hope. I love what the guy, the attorney with the pink glasses said. The interstate crimes over state lines, communication. She had the address for Brandon. She gave it to Lori, Alex. Hey, AJ McCleary, how you doing? I'm sorry, I'm having like a whatever you call it, panic attack, or I don't know, overwhelmed, over post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay. So it's a real weird time, but I'll be okay. Y'all are helping me. Not having y'all I'd be here by myself. So you really are helping big time. I'm just getting like this frozen state, you know, like I tense up. Here, I'll show this picture right here so we can continue getting the word out on Jarrett. We covered this last night. So there's the stats on that. Just okay. It's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. Thank you, Millie Miles. Thank you. It's just, it's embarrassing too, you know? It's not normal. Oh yeah. 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 And he said about Uncle Charles, he said, what about, ask him about the 2 bullets in his chest. I want to F-bomb so bad right here and just say, you know, fuck you, Chad. Sorry, said it. I don't know. Just, yes, I do get angry. Yes, I try to hide my colorful language, but sometimes it feels really good to say it. They're just stupid. They're stupid. Stupidest people ever. Look at them. Look. Dang. I mean, it's like busted, never to be trusted. You know? Ugh. And there's that dad, Jared Bridegan. Let me continue on. Okay, I'm just kind of having to. This is me. I know he never knows how to react to it. I'm just like, just follow my prompts, you know? So that's how we do it. Okay, back over, hide this, and then, there. Well, let's hooray for that. She's going down. For real. Yes. We just need to distract you a bit. Yes. We had such a good combo last night, Trace. Donna didn't feel good. Her ear, she had earaches and beach bum. I think she had the spinning wheel of, you know, death. Like a top, she said. But I mean, I did not expect it to go 4 hours. You know, but it did. So it is what it is. It's very off the cuff. It's not a show. This is real life, as you can see. And it really sucks sometimes. But then it doesn't, you know. Could you imagine not having anybody? Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. That I did find my Uncle Charles's jokes. I gotta go. Well, let me play the. I feel like I gotta put you on front of the TV while I look for stuff. So, anyways, like here, watch some cartoons. I'll be right back.
Fourth Circuit, rather, of Florida, Melissa Nelson saying that these other two people did not act alone. The wife is now charged, ex-wife of this victim, father of four, Jared Bridegan. Let's bring back in everyone who's standing by, crime and justice correspondent Matt Johnson, Josh Schiffer, and Jack Rice. So important, we know that this was likely coming down. Matt, your reaction to this being what the state attorney is now saying, and she says this is her last public update.
This is the moment that the widow that was standing there next to this, the DA, has been waiting for. She has been waiting for this additional charge to come down. And she had suspected all along in telling me that there was just such a divisive relationship with the ex and with their divorce and their agreement with the children. She had suspected that something wasn't right from the get-go. And today, again, you heard right there this breaking news that the ex-wife has been charged, and it's the same charges that Mario Saldana faces, her estranged husband, who she moved from, like she was living in Florida with him, and then she ended up moving to Washington where she was taken into custody. So it's first-degree murder, conspiracy, solicitation to commit felony, capital murder, and child abuse, because again, the toddler was in the back seat of this car and witnessed it all happen, Julia. Not a surprise here, but a resolution, and now it's the next steps. And it was really poignant that she said that this is her last update. So no more updates until we're in court on this one.
No updates from the state attorney's office. Curious to see what the family may say at this point. But Josh Schiffer, your reaction to this being the final charge? That's what the prosecution is saying, that they aren't going to be making any public updates, so likely no more arrests in this case.
I love the confidence in the state's attorney and starting off the press conference with that. This is going to be my final announcement. She's done her job. Her office has done her job. And just like Matt said, brought a tremendous relief to this family. This widow and these kids eventually will grow up to know that the system did effectively pursue the people behind their father and husband's murder. Not unexpected, definitely a defensible case due to the tenuousness of the connections, but I'm willing to bet the state has some good evidence it's going to share as the case progresses.
Jack, this is 3 defendants. One of them is already pleading out in this case, and we hear conspiracy. Would you try them together? Do you think their defense attorneys will try to separate this husband and wife?
Well, I can tell you I've been in this space before, and anytime you have co-defendants, especially those who are not charged and those who are cooperating, it's a petrifying experience to walk into, because sometimes you don't know what it is that the state knows. Yes, it's a discovery piece, but it's still very hard, and there's that wild card of that person who could come in and testify as to what was going on the inside. But at least now what we're really seeing, and this is really what the prosecutor did so well, and I think really sort of solidifies the power of what they have now, is they have motive. They have this connection between the ex-wife and Saldana. And those two, if you watch that, you watch the drive that runs from one piece to the next to the next. And what you want for a jury always when you're prosecuting or defending a case is you want to be able to explain the facts, but you also want to explain why. Why is it that something like this could happen? Why is it that somebody would actually be willing to go to the extent of actually murdering another human being? And now what you have is that direct connection between the ex-wife and Saldana. And that's incredibly important when it talks about something like a conviction in a case like this, especially on a second-degree murder charge.
Matt, you've been reporting on this. You've been out there to Jacksonville at the crime scene. But I want to ask you about this ex-wife. I don't think you've been all the way out to Washington to see where she was. But tell me about what happened after this murder of Jared Bridegan. They shared 2 children together. Did she get full custody, that distancing? When did that happen? And is there going to be a similar extradition as there was for her husband?
Right. You know, when you look at this case and the way that it played out, Julia, you had her as a person of interest or someone that may have had knowledge from the get-go who was not cooperating with authorities because, again, she was the last person to have seen this victim, her ex-husband, alive. And then he's leaving her house after dropping off their 2 children. And then, you know, in a one-way road where he traveled each and every time he had his daddy date night, he had to move this tire out of the road. He couldn't pass it. They knew that he was going to be there. That's why we have this conspiracy charge and we have these allegations from this district attorney. But she has really very much over the last couple of weeks and months tried to distance herself from the 2 gentlemen that have been charged in all of this, including her current estranged husband, because again, she moved to Washington State. She lives in a house paid for by her parents who are multimillionaires in the Pacific Northwest. And she cut all ties with him. And now that brings us to today, where she is actually charged in all of this, and she will be extradited back to Florida.
Will be in Florida, and we will be following the developments in this case. Thank you all 3 for all of that information.
We go by Mr. Fernandez, so that's how we'll refer to him.
Okay.
The law office of Sony Drysdale Hill, appearing on behalf of Mr. Fernandez, Jesse Drysdale, along with my law partner, James Hill. Your Honor, this is an indictment. So for today's purposes, we're going to reserve on any bond arguments or any probable cause arguments. And if it's my understanding, April 13th is the felony pass date. All right.
Because it's a warrant, I am told I need to pass it to
It's
April
not letting me go
4th.
click over
Is
that
that right,
window.
Madam Clerk? Okay. So,
okay. Jeez. It won't let me click back over. Okay. View, whatever. Whatever. So I started, you know, earlier I was listening to oh my God, I don't have my thoughts. They're just racing. Why aren't my windows going? It's weird. Let me stop sharing my screen and then try again. Keep trying, you know. Present share screen. I don't know. It's like not let me click on things. Weird. I don't know what's going on. It let me cancel.
What's going on, Gracia?
I don't know. It's not letting me click on some things, you know, like share screen, but it won't let me pick which one to share. But it let me cancel, you know, so I don't know. It wouldn't let me close out that window either. Let me try. Maybe I need new batteries. Just one of them days, I guess. Hold on. Try this again. I see my camera is like, you know, focusing real hard. Let me go into my settings. Maybe I need to reduce it to 720. Maybe it's pulling too hard. I don't know. We will try it. I'll try anything once. Kind of. Nope. I wish I could show you, but I can't. Whatever. It won't let me click on any of the individual things, but I can cancel out of it. Yeah. Huh. This is weird. I'm going to back out and come back in.
Okay.
If
I'm
it'll
still
let me.
here.
If it'll let me. What the hell?
Wow.
It's just opening up new windows.
It won't even let you back out?
I'm a
Well,
lead.
Okay. While she's left, this is very interesting how this is so similar to the things with Melani Boudreaux, about having her husband killed or Lori being involved in that conspiracy to have him killed. And you wonder why. I mean, just it's a complete lack of empathy. It's like if this man is not going to be with me, he doesn't even deserve to be walking around alive. That's pretty harsh. So hopefully Cresha will be able to come back in and get her screen back up how she wants it to be. And I'm hoping that y'all are hearing me. Are y'all hearing me? I'm just sitting here. And I do think that hopefully Arizona will be harsh on them because they fell so short ahead of time. And we're going to really dig into the Arizona papers and stuff very shortly. And also, I mean, we've got the Arizona stuff, and then again, we've got Chad stuff that will be in Idaho. I've been reading some of the paperwork for Arizona, and it's very in depth, and I'm learning stuff that I didn't know. And I'm like everyone who's been in the chat has said that it's almost impossible that Melani Boudreaux and Chad should be also charged in Brandon's attempted murder, if not Charles's murder too. I mean, for sure, Chad on Charles's murder because he knew all about it. No, this is Donna. I see in the chat someone said, "Is this Kay?" No, I'm Donna, and I'm a moderator, and I help behind the scenes, and I do research and help Cresha that way too. And gosh, I don't know. I hope she can get back in. But at any rate, it's like in our lives we want to cover so many things, and it's like going in 3 different directions at the same time with all of the stuff that's going on. Idaho, Arizona. That was weird.
What?
It said something weird when you first came up, but I couldn't read it. It was so fast. There was like some words that I was not used to seeing.
Bippity boppity boo.
It was boo.
Oh,
All right.
Lord. Boo that. So yeah, I found this, which was in Uncle Charles's stuff, and it's from Adam Cox. So I'll read this to y'all since we're just kind of defragging. So my computer's weird. I even restarted it and updated it and all that stuff before I even went live. Anyways, it says, Lori and Charles, you two are awesome with all you're going through, and you are helping us. We love you so much and are so grateful for your support. I know the Lord will bless you. He is blessing us. I can't wait till we all can live next to each other. If there is anything I can do to help you, just ask. Love, Adam, Nicole, Zach, and Gilly, I guess. Gillie, the dog. So yeah. When I went to go grab, no. I have one that Zach wrote to Uncle Charles, and I have it Oh, it's somewhere. I have so much paperwork. It's not even funny. We could do 24-hour streams just off paperwork. But yeah, the one that Zach wrote, he was just like, it was sweet, but I had found it crumbled, like balled up, thrown in a box, of my uncle's office stuff. But it was Lori's too, so I don't know. Cause I also found she had ripped up somebody did. I doubt it was Uncle Charles, because she was in her Infinity, whatever, Q45, June 15th she got a traffic citation, and this is 2019. So I found it, shredded. So I taped it back together and I sent it to Hermosillo, and he was like, good. I was like, okay. So I don't know if she did it like after the fact or what. And then there's this. It's just weird how you go from, I don't know. I know she was never a good person. I know that now. She only let us see what she wanted us to see. Obviously. And it goes on and on, because wherever she goes, so does her thought process. And she's charismatic, and before. Now she's just ridiculous. But I don't know. I'm just kind of piddling right now. I have so many things. It's not even funny. I have a whole fireside chat, There's fireside chats all the time. I heard something, because I watch Mormon programs, ex-Mormon program. I watch. That's what I do. It's probably why my brain hurts. But that's how I learn. Point in case. Well, I'm gonna Google it up. Hold on. You about to see. I will save the bulk of it for Sunday tomorrow. I know we're gonna do this again tomorrow. Try to. Or maybe we can do it for Monday. Give my moderators a break and myself. Okay, so we're gonna go not to my channel. No. Where's YouTube? Holy hell. All right. Yeah, mine. I need to go to my history. Thank y'all so much for just understanding. It means so much. Okay. Okay, I'm looking for it. Wait for it. And I was like, oh my God. It's just some things some days and sometimes they don't. I don't know. All right, I'm using my old clicky mouse. We're gonna share with some Helena, whatever. Some latter-day media, yo. Okay. Let's do some subtitles. They like to talk. All right. Let's play that shit.
All right, chapter 6.
All right.
Yeah.
This is at Nancy James'
This
house.
one's probably my favorite chapter, but it's a hard read.
Oh, it's a hard listen too.
We need this. We need this. But I'm just going to ask, is there
Don't
anyone
need
in
it.
the room that hasn't read this chapter? Well, my question is, can I pull things out or do we have to read it all?
You always pull out.
Well, if someone hasn't read it, it is important. Okay, so go home and read it. I would like to just pull out what I think pertains to us.
Your
So
jeans.
the pornography section is a hard one to read.
I mean, don't
so
read
many
it
of our
then.
men today are having this problem, and it's just
not just
hard when
men.
you
My
realize
God.
what is actually influencing them. But it also gives, and how serious it is, and it does give you some level of compassion. to try and understand.
Now
But
pass
what
it
I want
along.
to try and do is pull this out so it applies to all of us.
Just pull out.
So
And-
just think for a second, whatever interaction that you have with devils, I want this to apply to
I
you.
rest my in case. I heard
Yes.
that. I was like,
Oh, we're not going to skip
yeah.
it. We're going to go through it.
Oh, good.
saying my son
We're going to go through this again. This Robin over here, she's about to say, oh, my son. Here we go.
was just preparing to go on a mission, and
This is Mike and Nancy James' home, Latter-day Media. They do this. This is Sisters of Liberty. This is oh hell, I'm gonna forget her name right now. This lady likes to talk a lot.
and I had been looking at this book, and he's like, "Well, should I read it?" And I'm going, "Maybe not before you go on your mission, right? You're gonna have
So young, he's going on his mission, I guess.
specific things, and I didn't want to confuse your mind. Just stick with the basics."
So this isn't the basics. I
And
guess
so I go up, and his bedroom doors open a crack, and I see him,
he might be, pleasuring himself. You better watch out, Mom.
and then he's on his phone. I'm like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Oh my gosh,
Yep.
I'm reading that book," and he was right here.
I'd rather my kids look at porn. Sorry, I said it. Than read this freaking book.
And he goes, "This needs to be taught in every priest."
You heard it here first.
I agree.
Right.
Yeah. He's like,
I agree.
There's a
would
great
scare
quote by
the
Brigham
hell
Young
out of
about
my
even
head.
when unclean spirits, all he knew. I told you guys.
Yeah. Oh, Brigham Young knew.
Oh, yeah.
He knew a lot of
could
this.
Find evil and unclean spirits. And
Uh-huh.
it's a continual war. I read that all day.
Yeah.
And every class I teach for my online institute class, they all
Yeah.
get to that.
Well, this is what it's really important that we understand the hierarchy and intelligence of evil.
Oh yeah.
Because we dismiss it, and we dismiss it too much, and
It gets better.
then they get to take advantage of it.
Or
So
worse.
I'm not going to read the whole chapter.
Thank you.
I'm going to read parts of it, but I
She's
want
better
to
at reading
pull
though.
out
I have to
critical
say.
issues for us to understand. So the scenario is a young man wakes up in the middle of the night and goes to view pornography with his wife and 3 children sleeping.
I didn't get that.
And this is what Spencer sees. And this is fascinating. The first thing he sees is when
Spencer is Tom Harrison.
this young man
He's a clinical psychiatrist or psychologist. He's on board with Tim Ballard, and the Hamblin people. Them people, all them people. And he's Visions of Glory is about Spencer, aka Tom Harrison's visions of glory.
and makes that decision, Spencer sees 8 spirits enter the room.
Holy Spirit, activate.
Now listen to this. 4 of these were evil spirits who had once been mortal,
Here we go.
and the other 4 were unborn evil spirits. Now, I don't think that's clear enough, and I think we have to define it,
Oh, please slap another definition on it.
because let's not call mortals who are dead evil spirits.
Y'all, I'm telling you.
Let's reserve evil spirits for the 1/3 part of the host of heaven.
Those are the ones that were cast out of heaven and Satan, and they follow Satan. And listen, oh my God.
Disembodied.
Yes, so that's another way. So let's call them, so
Disembodied.
Brigham Young calls them unclean spirits.
The scriptures.
And the
always say,
scriptures.
Oh, there's tons.
Yes, so that's what I like, what Janet said. So we've
Like
got
child
evil
stalk,
spirits that
unclean
are
spirits.
minions of the devil.
Minions of the devil.
Never had a body. But unclean spirits or disembodied spirits are those who have lived, not turned to the Savior, not used the atonement,
And not repented.
and not
So they can go to
repented.
spirit
Not
prison.
Brigham Young's
No, they're in
atonement.
spirit prison.
Yeah.
They are in spirit prison. I thought earlier we said spirits had to be given permission to come back. So why are they allowed to come back?
They're here.
Yeah, they're here.
They've never left.
They haven't left the earth. They don't want to leave. They're afraid. So they're allowed.
So they're not in spirit
They're
prison.
in a super.
There isn't a spirit prison on another planet. Spirit prison.
Y'all remember Tammy was in spirit prison, right?
Not in spirit
They're
prison.
in a super.
There isn't a spirit prison on another planet. Spirit prison is on our planet. So
Well, at least now we know that spirit prison is on our planet.
they move dimensions, but they don't.
Oh,
move
they move.
planets.
According to the John McCullough
My husband and I just read it this weekend, The Return of the Gods.
Y'all, I bought that book and I left it at Mary's. It's brand new. It's the only brand new book I bought. Haven't been able to read it yet.
Portals have been opened, and the world is now flooded with spirits who were being held back for a time.
Oh, don't
Well,
open
that makes
that
sense.
because we could go a long way on opening evil portals.
Now, y'all, take this into consideration also. This was 5 months ago. Okay. And in the description box, it says February 25th, 2023. So this is right before Lori went to trial. These people are still doing this. What is the nature of evil spirits? Who are they? Are they different than unclean spirits? Does anybody give a shit? No. Many people have had experiences with addiction, evil influences, spirits in the dark side of life. Some may think this chapter is dark and a hard read. It can be, perhaps for some, but with the sisters here, oh yeah, this discussion turns into a rich instruction, replete with experiences of many in this group and faithful study. Faithful study. Faith is key, as well as discernment. The discussion is not meant to speculate. Who are we kidding? But to explore the realms in which we experience our mortality and make sense of our journeys together. And I'm sure you'll see Donna down here. She likes to comment. Let's see. I ran across it one day. I was like, oh yeah. And Ministina too. Maybe it's not this one. Or whatever. But anyway, so let's keep on.
I can tell you, my husband closed an evil portal in our room in our
go.
house when my daughter was having seizures.
Let's go
My
back.
husband closed an evil portal in our room in our house when my daughter was having seizures. So we can discuss that later. Let's stick to the basics right now.
Yeah.
So
the basics.
what he
Oh my
says
God.
is those who are disembodied, they looked human.
Remember how they said that Lori was saying that Uncle Charles was shorter, one leg or something, some stupid shit.
They wore clothing of the period in which they lived. But the evil spirits, so the minions of Lucifer, looked less substantial,
Wow.
generally smaller with misshapen features, making them look slightly inhuman.
Okay, I gotta say one thing. My favorite show is Ghost.
Hey, I have one boob that's bigger than the other. You know, we all do. God. And then, yeah, they make the biggest deal out of Ghost, the movie. It's funny.
And I think they hit the nail on the head with that. With those, they kind of have a form like you could see, like two arms and stuff, but they're black and they have eyes and they're smaller. And I thought, man, whoever did that show kind of had it. Hit the mark.
Well, I think we've had experience with all of this, but we don't know how to quantify it. Yes.
Lori and Chad do.
I mean, and that's what once we understand this chapter.
But do you see what I'm saying? This is a problem because what's happening, what sets them and makes them justify this in their minds is, well, but we didn't murder, you know, and they were starting their own cult. That's what this is. And so it's just like, it's freaking insanity is what it is. It's like, we're doing it too, but we're not that bad, you know. But these people have never, I have gone on these live shows on their channel, recorded, like screen recorded myself, even recorded myself from my other phone while I'm typing, texting, you know, just I'm cordial, nice. All I'm asking is for them to talk to me. They don't even acknowledge me. And all they do is defend. They defended just like Christopher Parrott defended Chad and Hector Sosa. And I'm sure there's a bunch of people I heard, you know, because Lori led Chad by his cock and balls. Because, I mean, let's be honest, he didn't have them to begin with, you know. So it's Lori's fault. And then Lori's family is like, oh, it's that damn Chad Daybell, you know. But nobody is like, it's my fault. I shouldn't have done this. Lori's cousin. Okay. the super prepper dude. I was like, oh yeah. Okay, well there you go. Yeah, that was scary too, Linda. And but you know what? I do keep an eye on Eric. I keep an eye on all these people. Not in a I do. I freaking deserve I earned that right. My family's blood paid for it. Is how I look at it. And nobody thinks they did anything wrong or were part of anything sinister. They project, deflect, and label and victim I'm sorry, persecution complex, God complex, repeat. It's weird. Manipulate, gaslight. It's the weirdest freaking I'm just like, oh my God, maybe that's why I'm like this. Oh, hey, hippie gypsy. You can be blocked and still see. Oh yeah. I mean, I haven't done it enough. Like I've done it. I for sure like videoed myself doing it. That way, I just do that. I just keep like receipts of whenever I comment on something anywhere. I've done it the whole time. I don't. So I have a lot of storage that's taken up. A lot of screenshots. And because these people would scrub the damn internet. Okay. We know they're sitting on some damn podcasts of Lori, Melanie, could be David. Yeah, because there were some even before. Yeah. So what are they going to do? Are they ever going to come out with them? Oh, and Kessa. Sha. That's so sweet. I'll miss you. I forgot. Anyways, same cycle, same shit, different day. Mandy's sister? She here? Paris Hilton's glasses again? What? They do this. Okay, Lee here says they do this because the foundations are the same as all Christians. Unless you question the foundation, all that is built upon it will be dangerous. Attack the foundation, stop building upon. And I get what you're saying, because it's like me saying, well, I believe in Jesus, but my Jesus is better than your Jesus. I get that. Yeah. That's what Robinette, my friend Sue Ellen, I love her to death. She does too, she was like, you need to, I forget what she said, but basically watch the movie. And I was like, you know what? I never did. I never have watched the damn movie. I was just okay enough with watching the damn preview of Jason Mel's debut. It's much bigger. And I mean, again, last night during the live stream, me and we had like a steady, no more than like 40 something people, no less than 30, 4 hours. But it was relaxed and I was very talkative. I had to take medicine, so I'm kind of starting to get a little loopy. But at the last hour for sure, like I'm gonna go in StreamYard. I'm gonna try and edit it, because I've been wanting to say my theory and how I see this and what's going on, and I just don't want to get murdered, and I don't want to get sued, and I don't want a bunch of people like stalking me and trying to. I don't want no cease and desist, and I don't want no shit. I just want people to hear me out. Like hear what I really think it is. No, there is one man right there. He's like right here. Well, that's Colette. That's her name. I forgot. Yeah, I'm gonna go and trim it, so that I can make it more concise. And I mean, it's out there. It's just, but then it's not. You actually, talking it out last night, I actually have to do more mental gymnastics by not implicating the church, by not including the church involvement than I do, by putting the church exactly where it put itself, and right in the freaking middle of it. They just don't want to be tied to that. You can't. I mean, but then I'm like, well, church organization, you put it out there, you raised this kid, this is your puppy, you raise it to bite people. That's your damn dog. You hold your dog. You're responsible for that. You created this. And so that's how I feel. You created this. You deal with it. You don't get to just, oh no. It's conditional. Everything's conditional. Hey, Carolyn, thank you so much for, I rarely go check PayPal, but thank you. And there's a couple others, but I can't remember right now. Jess, thank you. Oh my God. Anyways, thank y'all. Yeah, but I mean, this is concerning to me. So that, I'm reading Visions of Glory. Again, I don't get all up into it like they do. I look at it perverted, because that's what the hell it is. It is. And it's just like, oh my God. I mean, I haven't made it out of the damn Roman numeral pages yet, I'm still in the Roman numeral, which is basically their talk. John Pontius, the late John Pontius, he's the ghostwriter for for Tom Harrison, who is Visions of Glory. The book it's off of his visions, right? So here, I'll show you. Because I mean, he likes to be evasive. He don't want the spotlight. Well, you know what? You forfeit it. You know why? Because in this book right here, it says, as I mentioned earlier, none of this is fiction. All of it is as told to me by Spencer, who takes responsibility for its content. It is something you may never forget. Well, that's the most truest statement I've ever heard in my damn life. You know why? Because I can't never forget it. I don't have that luxury to just act like I'm freaking bon qui qui or something, and I take responsibility, Yeah. But it's code. It's but yeah, let me I'm gonna answer that though. It's like, how are you gonna take responsibility? It's John saying that Spencer, takes full responsibility for the content in here. Spencer's a fake name. Who the hell is Spencer? It's very evasive, and it's not cool. And this dude, knows higher ups. Okay, this is where Chad got his authority. This is where Julie got hers. Yeah, it's comprehensible. It's just the way I comprehend it. The language that I pick up is basically they're telling you where to meet, who to meet, how to meet, what's going to go down when they gather, and it's not like second coming doesn't mean second coming like it does for everybody else, even in the church or outside of Christianity or whatever. Just random, just look up the definition. Doesn't mean that. It's the great and terrible day or something like that. Yes. Yeah. And see, people used to think I was cuckoo cuckoo whenever I was like, they got sealed in the temple. That's called a second anointing. Yes, that's a second anointing. And I've had ex-Mormons, I've had Mormons, I've had people who are just tired of hearing me say it. They're like, just move on, and I'm like, again, I don't have that luxury. I don't have that where I can just flip it off and, go on about my life. I can't. This is my life. And it bothers me to my soul. And so it's that puzzle. It's the puzzle, and I'm putting it together, and I can't help that, it gets corroborated. Good. And then I don't want to be right. It's so, because I really don't. If I'm right, then that means that people who are in major religious roles, positions, authoritative, wealthy as they're richer than God. And they're saving all that money for the second coming. I don't know which one. But you know, why? What's the end game here? So I ultimately, you know, how I see it is that, and this is just my theory, I'll call it a dream and a vision. For entertainment purposes only. I don't want to get sued or murdered. And, you know, there's 3 members of my family already down. So I'd say that's a good reason. Oh. Yay. Okay. Oh. I needed that. I miss them. You know, that's why I do it. My life just flickered. Anyways, thank you so much. But what this is it's where to meet, gathering up. Oh man. I can explain it to you like this. I've never watched Arrested Development though. So now I'm gonna have to, is it the definition, like the definition of Arrested Development, or like the movie or the show? Hold on just one second. I'm gonna try and do this. Oh wait. Difficult research. Let me be the difficult. I would love to buy the trial transcript. I know that much. I think I emailed them one day when I was in Boise, and then I haven't looked back. So I'm just going to play this for a second while I go and look up this other video. They all go together. All this ties in together. And if I had a damn, I would need a whole documentary production team just to line all these things up, and I can make it make sense. You just got to hang with me. You just have to have an open mind and look at it without the bias of, oh no, they're religious men. They would never. I'm otherwise, you know. I can safely say if they even thought of coming after you, they would be in some serious backlash. Have I showed you my Jesus card yet? Where the hell is it? It's usually not far. There it is. I live in a trailer in Lake Charles, Louisiana. And I put it in this plastic thing, but it was a Friday. I was sleeping. I was taking a nap, and Jason left to bring the boys to meet their mom for her week with them. And this was in my house, so, you know. And I did sign up to the website whenever my uncle was first murdered. I signed up to church, churchofjesuschrist.org. I wanted to learn about the Book of Mormon. And so when I signed up to the website, I did use K-A-Y. It's my middle name. It's my mom's name. It's her nickname, actually. And but I used K and my old married name. So that's what they put. You know, they in 409. I'm in 337 area code. 409 is in Texas. I'm in Southwest Louisiana, which is the heel of the boot of Louisiana. It's about an hour drive to this number from this. Yeah, we don't have temples. I've never seen a missionary, even though the Hubers have. We've spotted some since. They have. But it says, "Hi, Kay. This is the missionaries. We hope all is well. Give us a call when you can. Thanks." Jesus did not bring this. I promise you that. I was like, okay, what does this Jesus picture mean? I'm looking at the symbolism behind it, trying to figure out what the hell are they sending me a damn message. I said something about the second anointing. I don't even know what the hell it is all the way, but I said something about it, and then this showed up, inside my house. Totally unacceptable. If it were on my door, okay. But I mean, still, that'd be weird. If it were, I'm way off the road. They didn't come help with the hurricane, all the hurricane debris. They could have done that. That'd have been great. What were they coming to do? How'd they get in my house while I was sleeping? That's fucking creepy as shit. So, it didn't really and that was like in 2021. I just met Jen, True Crime Unveiled. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I've had people say that, but then why in my house? Why was that card in my house with my name on it that I used to sign up to the website? And then when I realized how that website works and like the 23andMe kits and genealogy and all that, I was like, abort mission. Yeah, like I wouldn't even go on those sites, but I mean, nobody knows. There's there's no way to find out, I was sleeping. It's so violating. It's scary. It's freaky. But when I was in Boise, I did an interview with the Sun, and I mean, when I was telling that reporter that, and I mean, it's like was sinking in, and I was like, oh my God, Jason did go by. We have guns, so I won't miss. It's just weird. It's weird, and I mean, what message is it? A message? If they want to interest me in the Book of Mormon or the further light and knowledge, then I do. They just weren't recording, right? Ah, yeah, I know. It just freaks me out because I was taking a nap, and the boys weren't here, so it's not like, it was in the middle of my I live in a trailer, single wide, it's older, and it's on like 1 acre off the road, and just again, for it to just even be on my property is one thing, but inside of my house, I'd have to measure to see, but it was, when you walk in, you're in the living room. You can take a right and you go down the hallway, bedroom, bathroom, bedroom, right? And then bedroom. I'm sorry. If you take a left when you walk in, you're already in the living room. Okay. So, but then you kitchen, there's a bar, so you can go two ways, and then to my bedroom and laundry room and stuff. And, it was closer to my kitchen. It was by my recliner, and I was just like, how'd that get in here? What is that? Jesus. I saw Jesus, like and it just, when I saw there was writing on the back, I was like, holy shit. I do take it as a threat. I'd rather be safe than sorry, if you will. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Whenever this started out, I was so close-minded, tunnel vision, that I was thinking, okay, I don't know how many members of Chad and Lori's cult there are, because I'm thinking, like the Manson cult or the Lundgren cult, not many, but then you realize through difficult research and some badass community right here, that it's 16. So now when people ask, I'm like, how many people are in the cult? And I'm like, 16 million. They report 16 million because it's what it is. Burn sage, right? I do have some. I have holy water. I got all kinds of shit. But I also I don't know. It just, they don't fight fair also. And I'm not here trying to fight, it's just, I just want them to, had the church been Christ-like, like they purport, then how it played out in my head was that they reached out to the family, our families, all families involved in this, and would have offered condolences. Is there anything we can do to help you through this time? Here's our number. Here's our Jesus card. Call us, girl. But they did not. Another thing is that they could have used their platform with their 16 million people, members, who these victims were members of the same organization, in my opinion, that had them murdered. Then, on top of that, to add insult to injury, they're also in charge of the adjudication process. I don't think it gets any worse than that. And it just fucking bothers me. It's, isn't it sad? The very people that do have my family's blood on their hands are the same people who tell us that we can't say a victim's impact, that treat them with kid gloves, that, Curtin McConkie is allowed to intervene for the church and tell the members, not Curtin McConkie, however it went down, not to talk to the law enforcement. Why? Because there's fucking kids missing. Talk to you talk to law enforcement. You don't tell them to shut up and talk to your bishops and your fucking stake presidents. That is evil. That is shitty. That is opposite of Christ. That's called core antichrist. Pun intended. And so you add all those things up, and then how, Gabe would have had to have known that Lori got her second anointing because Gabe was a bishop. Stake president was what Adam said, Shane Holmes. He would have had to have known. And if it's the same Shane Holmes that might have just connected that to, then that means that he is a moderator for John Pontius's fucking book right here, Visions of Glory. There you go. So it's just real rich. The same people who are double speaking, who won't admit to their shortcomings, won't admit to, these people right here doing it, reading it. They never say their names. They never mention it. Talk about it. Why not? Something's wrong with y'all. Just saying. Bad Apple Media. That is them. Chad and Lori, yeah, they're ultimately responsible. Ultimately. They could have said no. But it is interesting to sit back and watch the very people that dupe them into sacrificing those children for religious purposes and participate. Probably that's why there's no crime scene, if you know what I mean. Then to see where Lori reached out because she thought what she did was done in righteousness. She was like, oh, Rob Wood told that to Summer. What your sister thinks that what she did in righteousness. And that's because she looks at the president / prophet, the living one, the here and now one. That'd be Nelson, Oaks, Eyring, and then all the other 800,000 dudes underneath in black suits. Every time they say Hosanna, Hosanna to God and the Lamb, somebody's child was sacrificed Just saying. And it's coming up September. Rosh Hashan, Feast of the Tabernacles. It's fucking gross. For what? You know? So, but, you know, here Chad and Lori are using Alex for the fall guy, but yet Chad and Lori are the fall guy for the church. It's like boom, boom, boom. And it just to be in the courtroom during trial, I was just like, just taking it all in, because I'm just like, how in the hell? If I knew, I'd be like, they made me do it. You know what I mean? I'd be honest. But they took a oath of vengeance, a blood oath, which is why they don't talk. And when they do talk, they talk in Mormonese. And so when somebody says that they saw Jesus in a spiritual, in a religious institution, yes. There's that. Yeah, but the church sealed them together. They wouldn't have met. That's the call out. So, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at in my research. Been there. Just haven't felt comfortable. I don't feel comfortable saying it out loud. I don't know. Yeah. But they do talk about portals. Yes, they do. Not just these people in church. I don't know. Let me play some more of this cuckoo stuff.
I believe we can start asking to help me. If whether you want to see them or not is your choice. But we definitely need to discern them.
The devils.
And yes, and be able to really recognize them and understand their plan. So the next chapter, he describes the disembodied spirits. They couldn't be
That's my family that was murdered.
heard by the young man, and they were simply there to satisfy their own desires. That is the most.
So that's Rhonda, that's Hillary, that's Viola, all them stupid freaking names.
Important thing you need to know. Well, I'm kind of skipping around because I'm not going to read because it's a bit of a tough read.
No, it's fine.
So they want him to continue because they had the same problem as him. So they had sexual addictions in life, and they're hanging around mortals with sexual addictions.
See how they all say mortals?
Think about what your addiction is. I swear we all have them. We just do. So the devils or disembodied spirits that are hanging.
So remember how they were like, if Chad's a Satan, he's a good one. I'm like, I've never heard anybody say a Satan. Like, I didn't know they were plural. I just devil is Satan. Satan is devil. That's what I was. Anyways, and then Core Horror came out, and I'm like, that's Antichrist. I'm like, well, what?
Hanging around you are the ones that had the same problems in mortality that you had.
So I guess the ones hanging around Chad and Lori are murderous ones.
And this is how Lucifer uses disembodied spirits to harm us. Then he jumps to
or harm your children.
The unborn evil spirits. So this is Lucifer's minions.
Fucking minions.
They are there to trap him, entice him, to remind him of the experience that's upcoming. They care nothing for his sexual desires. Nothing. Why? They don't understand him. They never had a body. They don't know what it feels like. They had one goal. They were there to control him. Let that sink in for him.
See, and so you'll catch the drift on this, that they never, it's always Satan's fault. It's the devil's fault. The devil did it. The damn devil. Water boy.
And to break his covenant.
That's right.
That comes later, but I just want you to think about our world right now as well.
Yes.
It is all about control in our world.
And this is part of it. You're having this class. I'm having this live stream of your class. It's all control. So we all want to control things.
And so that is their number one goal, is to control all of us.
Good luck with that.
It's working. It's
I'm
working.
just too rebellious. I don't want anything to control me aside from the spirit.
But you know what? They'll still find a way to get you.
Oh, I know.
Unless
They're gonna find you. They're gonna get you one way.
you are very
Because
aware.
I'm not perfect of discerning those influences.
Exactly.
What? You're not perfect.
Exactly. And we each have our own weaknesses. It might not be this weakness, but we definitely have our own. So these devils, as I will refer to them, were reminding him of certain websites, urging him.
It sounds like when they go to the bishop, you know how they're very specific. Like, what kind of porn did you look at? I think they get off on that, honestly. Not all of them, just the perverted ones for sure. It's weird.
To continue whispering to him how it was going to feel. They even told him which images to view.
Oh.
Can I ask on that?
So Spencer or whomever he's watching had no control over himself. It's all the damn devil.
Whispering. So the ones that can whisper are the unborn.
The devils. The
Minions.
devils. Lucifer's
doctrine of the
devils
devils.
can whisper, and we hear them. It's the disembodied spirits.
Oh,
That they're
okay.
very muted to
I get it
us.
now.
Okay.
But
They
can't
said
whisper
you
to us?
couldn't hear them.
Oh,
yeah, they're harder to hear.
But
And
you can feel their desires just
Yes.
working on you. All right.
Yeah.
Interesting
So-
distinction.
Yep.
So this, trying to word it, okay, the images, which ones to view and how they should feel about them. We have how do you say it? A homosexual problem. Would that be
A homosexual problem.
going on with that?
Yeah, they whisper to you things like that too.
Yep. Well, I mean, if you think about it, they would
crazy.
most likely have had agenda as well. So if you have a female devil whispering to you, they
Lori.
would probably, because we know gender was eternal. So there's
Oh.
going to be female devils and
Yeah.
male devils, and they would have,
Sure.
different. Yeah.
It just says up in the top section that they were both male and female.
Yes.
Disembodied, so that would make sense. It would be for the devils as well.
Yeah, both. I mean, because gender's eternal.
Because
Yeah.
Always desires the male, and the male always desires the female.
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
Okay. Says
I'm
who?
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Then she never gets far in this class because they always talking the whole time. This entire class, they just go around. Basically, might as well pass the little spirit stick.
This principle to the nth degree. My
There's the man right
husband
there.
in his absolute perfect storm.
Perfect
With
storm.
brain injury,
Mm.
COVID brain, medication, that was suicidal medication. In his weakest moment, whether it was a minion, whether it was a devil,
A minion,
whether
a
it was from
devil.
that sign.
I don't know if y'all can hear it. It's so
whisper
low.
To him. And he has let us know this because he's whispered this back to us through the veil, that he was tricked. And that evil spirit whispered,
That he was tricked. So she's talking about her late husband who unalived himself. And she just said, you've got to. So in my life, I have lived this principle to the nth degree. My husband and his absolute perfect storm. Meow. With a brain injury, which is sad. Covered brain, COVID brain medication that was suicide medication. In his weakest moment, whether it was a minion, whether it was a devil, whether it was from that sign whispered to him, and he's let us know this because he's whispered this back to us through the veil, that he was tricked. And that evil spirit whispered, your brain is always going to be like this. It's never going to heal. So you can teach lies. Yeah. And then said the lie again. You've got a little bit better off without you. Basically, the world's better off without you. That is such a common lie. They say the same lie to anyone who will listen. It's almost the same words. Kirk Duncan, which is somebody I didn't hear about until, this event here. Have you guys studied yet? Because this is her talking. Well, here, I'll let it play now. Just can't hear that other lady.
Common lie. They say the same lie to anyone who will listen.
It's almost the same words.
It's almost the same words. Kirk Duncan, have you guys studied, listened to Kirk Duncan? He heard the exact same thing. Your family would be better off without you.
Just a quick thought, just on the word family. We have to keep in mind that Satan's plan is to destroy the family.
Yes.
And so be aware of when there's attack on the family.
Yeah.
And that's
Yep.
why my story.
Or when your
of
family's
his
attacking you.
suicide, what a great thing that that evil spirit was able to succumb him in his weakest moment. And the Lord has mercy and understands what his brain was like and so forth, and can judge clearly.
Exactly.
What was the situation.
Absolutely.
But that spirit, look what they got. They got a medal because they not only succeeded. We talked about those medals that we win when we use our talents.
Yes.
He got them because he not only succumbed that person, but now he affected the family, he affected the friends, he affects the neighborhoods, and it is a ripple effect of evil.
But nobody takes
How much
accountability.
more do you think?
This sucks. Nobody's like, well, it's because I did this and Bob did that. Nobody takes responsibility, which is why I don't think it's so far out the realm for Lori not to take responsibility. Nobody was murdered in this case. No, they were freaking sacrificed. Bow down before the Lord you serve.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And
They're organized just like we are.
Yeah.
The tens of thousands of people he personally coached.
Yes. Yes. And there's some interest.
And so remember whenever Chad, they would say, Chad and Lori both allegedly would say, they're ramping up their efforts. There's
some interesting stories because I've studied this quite a bit. Yes, they got a medal for accomplishing that. But there's
Okay.
also a punishment in the netherworld for if you don't accomplish that.
Oh, yeah.
So it's they have a pretty brutal working environment there as well.
Well, I'm not worried about their freaking working environment.
Let me just tell you,
Speaking of work, why don't we all go get a job instead of doing this shit?
it fuels them
Not at the temple.
when they saw, we won. He took his life.
Yes.
The very same minute.
I'm gonna kind of scroll forward to see if I can. Okay, here we go.
That is beautiful. And I would we don't tend to evaluate situations like that because they're very painful. But I think if we could see her situation, there would have been devils in the room and then there would have been angels in the room. And she was probably a sponge at that stage where wasn't really
Speaking of sponges,
capable of thought. So she is hearing the inspiration of the devils. And who was it that actually put into her head, you have a life to live? That would have been the angels.
It would have been the bad guys.
straight up just got the flash in my head about the cartoon, the devil and the angel on each shoulder.
Wouldn't have been the bad guys. So we need to be constantly praying for this angelic assistance at all times, even in a very healthy.
But Catholics do that, but they don't pray to patrons or whatever, saints. Saints don't pray to saints.
hellish situation.
Can I share an experience I had? A young man in my daughter-in-law's extended family committed suicide. He was very bipolar. And
I mean, just blah, blah, blah.
for 2 or 3 days after that, my daughter-in-law's mother, his mother-in-law, had dreams every night that Curtis came to her and said, "Help me. I'm in a dark, cold place. Help me." She told Heather and Heather told me. And I was going to the that was like,
You know what? Because I mean, I've experienced some things before also, right? I feel like there's something like, conjuring these spirits up, inviting them in, opening that portal, whatever. I don't know. I'm not a professional. I don't know what this world entails. I don't know what this life means. I don't take it for granted. I have, but I try not to. I don't think this one's just a test, you know. I don't know. It's weird. It's different. I'll say it's different.
Like on a Wednesday when I heard that story, the next day I had planned to go to the temple. I walked in the Bountiful Temple and I asked the officiator, or the guys at the desk, could I put this young man's name on the prayer roll when I described it? He said, absolutely. I did that day and those dreams stopped.
Bam.
Now, there's a lot of misunderstanding.
So she did that, and then it answered the magical thinking. You know, God answered her prayers. So there's your power. That's just part of it, you know. Okay, let's go. Because
And I asked the officiator, or the guys at the desk, could I put this young man's name on the prayer roll when I described it? He said, absolutely. I did that day and those dreams stopped. Now, there's a lot of misunderstanding about suicide. So I took this experience and I went to Calvin Stevens, whose adult institute classes I was attending. He is a retired institute professor from Weber State president, and for years, and the author of or one of the authors of the institute manuals. For years, he was on the correlation committee, and once a month or so, I don't know.
Here, we're gonna go right
he would meet with the brethren.
About the pre-mortal existence.
Okay, wait.
So it's one of Joseph Smith. But when you study E. Hatton Cook, the words of Joseph Smith, it talks a lot about the pre-mortal existence. So if someone says, why did we come to Earth? We primarily, repeat, to get a body. Well, according to Joseph Smith, there were evil spirits bearing down upon us, and Father knew that we couldn't stop the oppression with that body. Now we do know, that's Joseph Smith.
This is interesting.
This words. We do know that we have been told those who have a body have power over those that don't.
So, but Charles didn't, right? Because 3 entities, Eplos, Ned, and Garrett. And
I would take comfort in that for anyone who has suicide in their family.
Oh, yeah.
What about murders?
My person had a body. So this gives them more power on the other side than it did initially. But I still believe it is individually our responsibility to overcome the
Well, then just take responsibility, accountability.
adversary.
Well, absolutely. And Curtis,
Wherever
like
we
everyone
are.
else, he's going to be taught in spirit prison, and he's going to get choices.
He's going to be
gonna
taught in spirit prison.
He's gonna learn and progress grace by grace.
And then he'll
Yes.
progress.
But there's something about having a body.
You hear
that will
that?
give them, those who have a body have
shut up.
power over those that don't. I would take comfort in that. More power on the other side than it did individually our responsibility.
Choices, but he's going to have to repent. He's going to have to learn and progress grace by grace from there up and out.
But there's something about having a body that will give them power.
But that's a comforting addition to that.
Because I've walked through these steps, not knowing that this would be part of my life's mission.
Sure.
I think Heavenly Father has opened up some education
Mhm.
for me, and I hope to share that with the world. And one of the things that I have been blessed to see is that my husband was a personal development coach here in this life, and he taught 40,000 people worldwide.
That's scary.
And when he passed through that veil, I also wondered what happens when someone takes their life. First of all, the Savior understands complete understanding. Remember when you said you could see that vault, that room, and see from all degrees? It's the
Okay,
devil,
I'm about to
it's the
scooch
devil,
up here.
it's I've lost the battle, but I didn't lose the war.
Beautiful.
Yep.
And what I
didn't do
understood
that.
from that is that the Lord has
Right here.
taken each of those people who've taken their life to Him, to His bosom. He has them now. So they are protected. He also understands if they weren't accountable, if they had mental disorder, or if there were circumstances.
That changes where they're
we
Sure, it does.
could not foresee.
sure.
But He also has a grander mission. And what I began to learn spiritually is that when that devil thought that he had overcome John and had won, he actually elevated John to a higher glory.
She about to say storm
Because
again.
when John walked through that portal, and literally it was a portal, and having the covenants and understanding of the gospel, but because he had a brain injury, he wasn't accountable for that moment of complete storm.
So JJ is good, I guess, because Lori dumbed him down so damn much.
Absolutely. Listen to the
So
adversary.
did David, so did
Into
Melanie.
his life.
Gibb.
And the Lord understands that. And so, and he even told me before he passed, he said, I feel like with this brain injury, I'm a 2-year-old, and a 2-year-old is not accountable for what they do.
Oh, good point.
And so, with that, John was shown to me what he's doing in heaven. Heavenly Father said, we can utilize him on the other side of the veil. John is now teaching millions of people that have taken their life.
Well, holy shit. Anyways, I mean, yeah, right now I'm really loopy, so I'm probably gonna end this one. Oh wait, whoa. Okay. But I copied sorry. I copied the link and I'll put it in the chat. Don't subscribe to them. Don't post them. I would sit and spend. Oh my gosh, I gotta clear my throat. Anyways, I don't know. It freaks me out. Nobody's learned anything. Nobody has. The church hasn't called these what Chad and Lori have done out. They haven't said, "Hey, no, church, we don't do this shit. Okay, you go that way, you're out. Okay, you stay over here under my thumb. You stay over here. You keep paying me to stay over here. Like wrangle all your minions in, church. They're starting to play in my backyard. I don't like it. So it's gonna happen again. It's why it's continued to happen is because nobody ever holds that church accountable. Nor does it hold itself accountable. So if they do, Linda, if they do more gold. I hate this. If they do I don't think Chad's was real. I've studied it. Not just one source. This is what I've been doing for 4 years. I'm not saying I am not in any way saying I'm a Mormon scholar or scriptorian or none. Not me. But it's like I can recognize the pattern. I know what it is. I'm like, oh, whoa, and it's the same thing over and over again. And they do have fake excommunications. They did this so that they could still practice polygamy when they said they disavowed it in 1890 in order to join the United States of America. And so then they took whenever Joseph Smith and his brother Hiram, this is just a short, whatever explanation of it. When they were martyred or killed, murdered, in the whatever jail, it's like they took a vow. It's called, I got it right here. I got it. And it's interesting. If you really listen to what this dude is, I mean, it's my robot reader, my voice reader, but it's good. It's got words. If I can find the damn thing. Blood oath.
Oath of vengeance, or blood vengeance, was an oath that members of the Mormon Church took as part of the endowment ceremony in the temple from 1845 to the early 1930s. In this oath, members of the church vowed that they would pray for God to enact vengeance on the United States to avenge the blood of Joseph and Hiram Smith, who were killed in 1844. In the temple, the officiator would say, "You and each of you do covenant and promise that you will pray and never cease to pray to Almighty God, to avenge the blood of the prophets upon this nation, and that you will teach the same to your children and to your children's children unto the third and fourth generation." President Brigham Young said, "Before the Nauvoo Temple was completed, Joseph was murdered at sunlight, under the protection of the most noble government that then existed, and that now exists on our earth. The souls of all such, since the days of Jesus, are under the altar, and are crying to God, day and night, for vengeance. And shall they cry in vain? God forbid. He has promised he will hear them in his own due time, and recompense a righteous reward." The blood vengeance oath was removed from the temple ceremony in the early 1930s.
Yeah. There, Jesus and Joseph Smith are under the altar. I don't know why it's doing this. Under the altar, and they're crying out for vengeance for the basically because the U.S. government and Christian, Protestants, Christians, all that stuff, they didn't accept the Mormons, okay, because their beliefs were weird. I don't know why my camera is doing this. It's pissing me off. Everything's pissing me off right now. Is to get revenge. It's to bleed the beast. It's to, find all the loopholes and be tax exempt and to just to get a vengeance. It's weird, waiting on the Constitution's hanging by a thread thing. So, and they could do it. They could do it because the church was busted, caught. Whistleblower David Nielsen. I got that clip too. Hold on. Unless I deleted it, I may have. Well, shit. No, but I have this one.
Let's go.
He was checking that girl's ass out with his old judgmental butt,
Let's go.
He's like, yeah, gross. Anyways, but yeah, the SEC.gov, the government, stock. I don't know this. Anyways, they the church was hiding. They created like Ensign Peak Financial or whatever to handle the SEC, to handle their shit, their finances, and what they did was they created it, and then that Ensign Peak created 13 other shell companies like Catfish, like just dummy companies, and assigned fake names to those. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like the level of deceit. It's so extra, and so they had $132 billion that they have not reported for 28 years. That's many a prophets, many a men just saying, yeah, no, we're above God. We are gods. We have a God complex because we are God. And we, those rules don't apply to us. And so any corporation that has over $100 billion in stock are supposed to report this, and they never did. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And so it's nuts that, I mean, they could pull that at any point in time before they even got whistleblown or whatever. They could pull that money out of the stock market and then be like, oh, Constitution's hanging by a thread. Oh, okay, we'll come riding in and save the day. And by the way, now you have to bow down before the one you serve because it'll be them. They want to rule the world. Money, power, and sex. It applies to every damn. It applies to everything. It's what makes the world go round. Anyways, I'm gonna read this and then we're gonna dip out. Because I'm not like, I have a headache right here, and y'all know it's been a pretty shitty time. Not with y'all, but Krisha, play that breaking AZ news. I can't just click on it. Can you put it in the private chat? No. Breaking news. Huh. Violent disturbance. I'll type that in. Violent disturbance. I gotta go back and see what the rest of it was. Violent disturbance confirmed Perryville. Come on, pull some up. Perryville, where at? Arizona? Oh gosh. Oh hell. I can't move my stream right over here. I can't find the damn thing. That's on my phone. You'd have to email it to me. But anyway, I'm getting it. I don't know what I just did. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh my god. Yeah, I could. I don't know what I'm doing. Where did my? I don't see my StreamYard anymore. Let me go to history. Tabs. Yeah. Can we go to them tabs? Yeah. Broadcast. Uh-oh. Am I going to echo? Yep. Let me remove. What error? Uh-oh. I don't know what's playing. Y'all, I just want to go crawl in a hole. Where is it? Start closing stuff in. There it is. Well, no. I don't know. Let me mute that one. Maybe that'll shut it up. No. Industry. Oh shit. Oh god. Okay, Donna. Will you finish it? I'm gonna. Hi, y'all. Love you. I'll be watching. I gotta go. This stupid.
For the last 3 months, we have been working with Susan Bendix, think.org. They took giving us back our power and our voices through performing arts, through poetry, to allow us to find ourselves, find out who we are, find our inner peace, give us the opportunity to express what we normally can't do in the prison, yelling, writing poetry, speaking our truth without hindering who we are in our growth. The world condemns without even knowing my name. The world condemns, keeping this vicious cycle the same. We are at Arizona Department of Corrections, Rehabilitation and Reentry, also known as Perryville Women's Prison.
So all of us together, and we all have a strong belief in making arts accessible. And people in these kinds of settings are about as authentic as you can find. And art deals with authenticity and depth, and often a lot of pain and a lot of struggle and a lot of tension. And so this kind of a setting, if you're interested in pulling art, it's perfect.
And so she asked that we all write about our own sober house or our own safe house. And I got to tell you, I wrote it one time, but I rewrote it in my head a million times. My sober house is beautiful, healthy, open, available at all hours. My sober house is your sober house with love from me to you. This is an institution that is supposed to be about recovery and reentry. And I think the therapeutic value behind this class alone, that this weekly class alone that we've been taking, the therapeutic value behind it is immeasurable.
The world tells me that I am nothing, yet I'm woke today. An addict no longer controlled by the struggles that I may have to take along the way. My poem basically was how the world sees a convict, how the world sees criminals or addicts, but not your typical drug addict. There's different forms of addiction. There's food, there's people that are addicted to sex, there's people, I talked about shame, guilt. It's really about the things that we don't allow ourselves to heal from to find out who we are. So my objective was to share, this is who I was, this is the choices that I made, but they do not define who I'm becoming and where I'm going.
Today you saw woman in the making, creation. You saw reality, tenderness, pain, desire, hope, anticipation. You saw freedom. That's what you saw today, freedom in the color orange.
And this program starts that empowerment, gives us a voice, teaches us resilience. I'm passionate about the journey I'm on, and we're all on the same journey. We just find different ways to get there.
Missing my mama, I'm sorry. Mama, I'm sorry. And I miss you.
You didn't live this strong, this long to get put on the shelf like a porcelain doll. If you have postmenopausal osteoporosis and are at high risk for fracture, you can build new bone with Evenity. Ask your doctor if you can do.
Yoshi, come here.
If you had asked me back then, hey, what do you think you're going to be doing in 10 years? I never would have said, oh yeah, still doing rescue. You know, I think I was very naive when I first started. I didn't really know the extent of what was out there, how badly it's needed. I never expected it to be as big as it is. It's kind of like being a matchmaker. Part of the reason why we do have the animals here at our home, because I know their personalities. A lot of these other rescues that are foster-based, they don't necessarily know that dog. I know every single one of their personalities, like they're my kids. And so I can say, okay, yeah, this one I know will work with you. And rescues are needed, but people need to be responsible about doing them.
They definitely sent you a GIF.
It's pronounced GIF.
EV, plug-in hybrid, hybrid. To each their own, electric. Find yours at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event.
Get special offers on select Lexus models.
I've not been a real daredevil.
How are you feeling?
I'm excited. And there's a big difference between nervous and excited.
Yes, yes. You're excited.
So far, it's just excited. My name is Marguerite Berg. I'm here today to do a skydive. Always thought it would be a fun thing to do. Well, since George Bush did it.
Ready, set, go. Once we leave the plane, push your hips forward, just like me. Whoop.
Starting to get a little shaky. You're fine. You're fine. All right. You're fine. It's a great day.
It was great. Just like I was flying.
You were flying.
I was.
We were both flying together. Thanks for coming to Skydive Buckeye, Marge.
Thank you
You
very
crushed it, girl.
much. There he is.
Okay, so I'm going to read the article then. Can y'all hear me? It says that a violent disturbance broke out in Arizona Perryville's women's prison in Goodyear on Friday evening. According to the oh, stop. Okay. Yesterday evening, an incident occurred at the Lumley unit, a close custody housing unit in ASPC Perryville, in which a group of approximately 50 women refused to return to their cells at the yard closure time despite staff's attempt to communicate with them. After additional staff responded, the women eventually complied and returned to their housing area as directed, a prison system spokesman said in an email statement. The disruption came after months of complaints about the cooling failures in Perryville. An organizer of American Civil Liberties Union, Carrie Williams, started getting emails about the heat complaints from women in the prison that the Lumley unit had been put on lockdown after a fight broke out and the temperatures inside the cells was 90 degrees. Some women asked to have their cell temperatures checked, claiming that they should not be forced in when temperatures are excessive, but correction officers refused, according to the emails from the woman detained. Lola, I can't pronounce that, executive director of Mass Liberation Arizona, also received phone calls and emails from women in the unit and their families. Nasangu, who spent 2 years detained in Lumley, explained that the women had been placed back in their cells after the fight, but it was when the correction officers wanted to close their doors that the women began to protest. That led to one woman being pepper sprayed and left in seizures, and one woman being detained in Perryville, explained her email. After the standoff and pepper spraying, some women began breaking things and lighting trash cans on fire, which led to 30 or 40 women being fogged with tear gas and handcuffs, according to the emails from the women detained. Women in the emails detained that the correctional officer started yelling at the women, which escalated their reaction. Dasango explained that the DOC has conducted studies. Explained they had conducted showings so how the heat leads to fights, and the Department of Correction had been warned for months about the heat issues in the prison. They should have evacuated these women into cooler cells until cooling system issues at Lumley could be fixed. In order for them to avoid any more fallout from the fact they are putting these people who are unbelievably inhumane heat conditions, they need to evacuate these rooms until they can install adequate air conditioning. According to the prison data, as of Friday, 3,141 women have been housed in Perryville Prison, including convicted murderer Jodi Arias. There are 254 women inside the high security unit where problems were believed to have occurred. By lunchtime Saturday, all the women have been returned to the same cells. Williams, who had been formerly incarcerated in Arizona prisons, and the temperatures in the cells commonly reached mid to high 90s in the summer. The corrections department downplaying the concern. The incident was not related to any heat concerns. ASPC Perryville is operating under normal conditions today, the spokesperson wrote. This disturbance comes after reports of cooling systems failures plaguing the prison in July. Arizona Prison Director Ryan Thornell calls the failure blips that might happen for an hour in an interview with 12 News last month. Issues with cooling have come up yearly in states in the South and Southwest, according to the ACLU attorney Corinne Kendrick. It's something that we do need to see across the country, where as part of the punitive mentality that officials don't want to put any sort of cooling system in prisons and jails because they say that is some sort of a luxury, she said. She explained that the units like Lumley don't have air conditioning installed, which is dangerous as temperatures continue to rise. The cells in Lumley open up right into the desert. They use swamp coolers to ventilate the cells, she added. Their conditions can be especially dangerous for those on medications. In Arizona, it is a separate case that the ACLU brought against Maricopa County Jail. The courts have issued an order telling Maricopa County Jail that Sheriff Joe Arpaia ran that they had to move people on psych meds into cooler areas. Kendrick Reese represents plaintiffs in the suit against the Corrections Department of issues of providing care for people detained in prison. The court filed a permanent injunction in April, and Perryville Housing, a piloting unit where court monitors are studying the changes mandated by the court. The state prison agency said it triggered an excessive heat safety relief strategy plan in Perryville complex in response to extreme temperature warnings. It has allowed for individual cell doors to remain open at affected complexes to relieve the effect of high indoor heat. At any time, the doors may be secured to ensure safety and security of the maintained prison system, spokesman added. Arizona prison system is not immune to violence, although Williams and other familiar with Perryville say violence like that reported on Friday is unheard of there. Williams explained that the protests at the women's prisons are rare, especially ones that end up with pepper spray and seizures. The most recent outbreak in the men's unit was in 2020 in Ehrman Prison in Florence, in which hundreds of detained people were involved in a riot. No injuries were reported. In 2018, violence broke out in the Yuma's prison. A riot there injured 37 people and left one prisoner dead. In 2015, three-day riot in Kingman sent 13 people to the hospital and resulted in the prison system relocating 1,000 people housed there. In 2004, the Lewis prison in Buckeye was scene of what was a time described in the longest prisoner standoff in U.S. history, a 2-week ordeal which began when 2 detained people took guards hostage. I think that's the end of that article. So let's go back to StreamYard. Okay, so I believe that Krisha has gone for the night, and we will continue our discussion. And I believe that she said we're going to go on Monday night instead of tomorrow night. So what we'll do is you be looking for it. I believe that it's going to be on Monday night, but just in case, be looking for our notifications. And daughter of detective's daughter, I'm going to call you up because your notifications don't work. We love you, girl. Okay, we'll see all of y'all next time. And remember that love always wins. Good night, y'all.